there are so many nuggets in here that I felt compelled to give you my inside take on this amazing lesson. So let me dive in and we'll get cranking from here.
The best players in the world, and we're going to talk about long irons. And no good long iron is complete without a twirl.
Gotta have the twirl. On a side note, it's good to see Tiger reinventing himself and being more personable. It's quite refreshing. Good stuff.
Okay, we've got two.
First off, Tiger's leg is looking quite bionic there. I mean, you can see the surgeons did a fairly good job with repairing that thing, but my goodness. Just a heads up, if you haven't seen this, Tiger's not going to be swinging because I think he is still not clear to swing yet from whatever injuries he's recovering from, but nonetheless, his insight is going to be absolute gold, so pay attention.
16, 217, and 225. You got wind off the right. You guys have 4 or 5 iron?
So just to set this up, this is a long iron lesson. They're going to be hitting 4 and 5 irons from these distances, and just observe how the conversation, the setup, the mindset, because it's absolutely fantastic.
4 iron?
Yeah.
16 pin on the right hand side. Feel wise, you want to hold one up?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, for the 4, it's probably a little too much club for me. So
Yeah.
I think just trying to start one in that center bunker and trying to work it back to that flag.
What do you feel wise when you try and do that?
Just feel like I swing left and I just sort of hold on to it a little bit through.
Hold on to it a little bit. This is the discussion on how they're making high level adjustments in milliseconds to shape these shots. Freaking amazing. And again, this all comes back to body control and being able to, one, have a solidified swing, but then to be able to make these adjustments to start calling your shots like they're doing here.
For impact, just sort of try to stabilize the face and don't let my right arm sort of release or thrust.
As the ball is being held up against the wind, is any chance of it being kicked up a little bit because you're holding it?
Yeah, and I'm hoping it is.
Okay.
So to be able to predict what the ball is going to do based on how the wind is blowing is why these guys are as good as they are. This is elite stuff.
I needed to go a little bit shorter. So.
Okay.
Well, hold up cut.
Perfect.
Go in.
They were aiming for that shot, that hole, and look where it went. Absolutely amazing. But it gets better.
Hit now.
Great shot, dude.
All right, and that's our segment.
That's a wrap.
Good job.
How good that is. Okay. I mean, seriously. Start at the middle part of the bunker, hold up against the wind.
Yeah,
It might be too far, so you kind of held up a little bit, and then it lands right there.
I mean, he literally called the shot, started it. He said he wanted to start it at the middle part of the bunker, and it shaped right to where it needed to go. Absolutely amazing. Beautiful fade shot here. And again, you heard him giving you the cues as to how he shapes this shot, this is all Tiger's game, being able to that feel and shape. Tiger is athletic, but if you really listen to him speak, that athleticism allows him to have that control and feel through his hands. But in order for him to do that, the body has to be in order.
It's 3 feet.
All these TV guys are too used to shots like that.
Yeah, I know.
They're always, oh, yeah. I'm just going to try and do the exact same thing as that.
Good shot.
Shot, dude.
Yeah. Really good.
And he does. You can even see with Scottie's 2 slightly different approaches, same result. Again, this is knowing your swing, knowing your equipment, and knowing the game. It's poetry.
Very pleased.
Yeah.
From this far?
I had to hit mine
I
a
love
little
that.
flatter than yours because you hit it further than me, but.
Great shot, Scottie.
For instance, that shot, like I know Rory hits his 4-iron a bit further than I hit mine, and so he was trying to put a little spin on his. And so I knew that if I was going to cut it, I had to flatten it out a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like, almost less cut. Like if I was trying to get it to spin a little bit more, I'd put more cut on it.
Yeah.
So like let's say I was aiming for the front edge. It would just feel like more cut and a little bit more height. Take some distance off. So that should be front edge to a little short. Yeah, front edge.
Did you hear him predict the landing of that shot before it landed? Ridiculous. Just the level of control. This just comes from hours and hours of work. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah, really good.
Call it front edge. Golly, that's good. If we're going at that left pin, you really don't have to draw it in there with this amount of wind.
No,
Right.
probably not. Again, it's probably just trying to hit a nice neutral shot at the sort of middle of the bunker and let the wind dig it to that left pin.
If you had just like a 1 yard shape, you would have to start it between the bunker and the flag on the right.
Yeah.
If it has kind of that shaping ride to it.
It's probably right edge of the bunker.
Yeah.
So I'll try that. I'll try hitting one at the right edge of the bunker and drawing it in. Oh no. Not like that.
Even though he missed that shot, it's still a good miss. I mean, he said he meant to start that shot at the right edge of the bunker that's in front there, and then draw it over to that left pin. But for us, that's still a heck of a shot. I mean, it'll leave you a long putt, but it's still on the green.
Good to the right pin again.
Still flush though.
Flushed it though.
Yeah.
You want to go ahead?
If you hit that,
I'll try 5.
Yeah.
you can kind of ride to it. It's long.
Yeah.
With this amount of touchdown wind,
Yeah.
you're more straight ball here.
Yeah.
Right.
Scottie's going down a club just to get more control.
If you were mucking around, you could get 6 there.
Yeah.
This one's probably a stretch for me, so I'm really gonna have to ride it, I think.
Riding it means he's gonna have to step on it in terms of his speed and really putting it into the ball, putting some mustard on this thing.
Well done.
I barely missed that. Go! Too much of a
Finish?
stretch.
Finish?
Barely off.
That's still about 200 and maybe 214 yards with that five iron, and he didn't quite clear it. Just to give you an idea of the distances on these guys.
Off.
Yeah.
Like that one I would have to really
Hit on the
bust
button.
if I wanted to get
Yeah.
there.
You'd almost have to hook it in there, right?
Yeah,
Or
that
send
was
it higher.
Higher probably.
yeah.
But really that one I'd probably just fade a 4.
I think I could probably hit a pretty straight ball just at it. Get it there.
That looks good.
Ah, plugged in the face.
And again, these guys are, I mean, this is the top end of the range of that club, and these are the problems that they have to solve on a weekly basis. But again, they can still punch it out of there, but just still amazing shot shaping.
Just enough wind kind
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
kinda-
you hold it a touch.
Just a touch. You just gotta almost not hold it. You just gotta wanna.
Yeah.
So it's like the awkward
Straight
one where you're
ball
trying to
to-
hit it dead straight.
Right, right. If
And
Like if I
either
draw it
way,
extra
either
much.
way, and if
Yeah.
yeah.
it moves with the wind, it's too much. Holds it is
Try to give
in
yourself
the bunker.
a little more margin for error. Right side.
Or would you just go higher,
Yeah, you
kind of
could.
like that, and just kind of use the wind as a.
That was
kind of a-
flush,
a
right?
If I
rider.
can't get it, if that doesn't get there, I can't get it there. Can't get it there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he still landed it. Oh, that might be a bad lie too, but it's still right on the lip. But again, these guys are just redlining that club to be able to get it there. But again, they're trying to stay within the confines of the lesson and the shots. But again, still a crazy good shot.
Landed right in the grass.
Your max carry on a 5-iron? 25?
Like 225-ish, yeah. I mean, if I'm really 230, I can get out of it, but it's out of control.
Just without thinking, 218, 220?
Yeah, low 20s.
Yeah.
Oh, get in.
Oh,
No? Shot.
wimped out.
Shot. All right, see if I can launch one.
Yeah, hit one really high for us. And use my big bottom and do the same thing.
Man, that thing was up there for a long time.
Your leg earlier on that?
What's that?
You straighten your leg earlier on that?
Yeah, I think
Just
so.
a little bit?
Yeah, because I'm like...
Just a little.
You saw how fast Tiger noticed the change in his mechanics, asking him, did he straighten his leg early on that one? Again, Tiger's eyes is just something next level eyes in terms of his vision of the game, all aspects of the game.
Okay.
Not intentional.
No, I know. Just
sorta
to give you room and more speed.
Yeah. I think to get out of the way and have it a little more.
Uh-huh.
That's...
A little thin again.
I mean, just the behavior of Scottie's ball is just unbelievable. I mean, you can tell a lot about a swing and control just by the way the ball behaves. I mean, just the way that those shot shapes are just crazy, and that's why he's the best in the world. But yeah.
Really, I just put it a little further up in my stance. And like that one, I'm trying to fade it, so it makes it a little easier for me to hit it way up in the air. Like if I had to draw it, it gets a little harder because then I like to move it back to draw it. But
So he's saying to fade it a little bit further forward in the stance, to draw it a little bit further back, to be able to get that, bite to it.
really, I just move it up and make sure I keep my weight up there with it. That's really the only other thing I'd think about, so I don't kind of sitting there with the ball up and set up like that.
Mm-hmm.
So really just make sure ball's up, weight's still a little left, and then
Send.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Do you try and
It's actually...
intentionally probably put a little bit more speed in the club head?
yeah, to get it
Just
up.
a little bit? Yeah.
I like that getting into your left side because if anything, it gives you a little margin for error if you are like have that like backward tilt, like to try to help it up sometimes.
Again, it's all about body. They're talking about what the body's doing. In order to get the swing dialed in, you have to have control over the body, which is why we're here, and the fundamentals of maximum golf performance: body control, head control, shoulder turn, swing plane, hip coil.
Yeah,
Right.
It's like that's good.
Yeah, kind of my default. Like when I start playing bad, I'll start setting up like this.
Right there. You see that little posture right there? You can even see it. You can see when he starts playing bad, he says he starts to set up like that. You can even see he's mimicking that potential posture. What typically happens, probably, is when he starts playing bad, he's probably experiencing some level of neurological fatigue in terms of his posture and stabilizers. Knowing that he has a history of a back injury, he had that little tweak. I mean, 50% of golfers do, but I mean, we get to see his on full display. But what as a strength and performance coach, what's probably happening is his mechanics is breaking down, is because he's probably having some type of compensation, whether it's his ability to hold that lumbar spine or some type of stabilizer function is not working. So he's going to make the adjustments to be able to get the club to do what it needs to do, but at a cost. So I'd be looking at getting him on the table after he gets off to evaluate what's possibly shutting down, what's not firing, and all of those types of things. But let him finish this.
So
Okay, so you're just always trying to
always
bump into that left side.
staying in there.
Yeah.
At least with the lower body.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, look at these guys' legs. Just like what Tiger always says, it's all about the lower body. I mean, this is why these guys have a good base, good solid lower body is what's going to allow you to get that swing. I mean, looking at Hogan, Nicholas, Palmer, all these guys had nice, wide, they were hefty down at the bottom. DJ, I'm thinking about a lot of these guys. So it's all in the legs and the hips.
Okay, hypothetically, if we had you had to flight one ish.
Yep.
Ish. You know, not knock it all the way down. Let's say if that wind was maybe 5 miles an hour into us now.
Yeah.
What would you do differently?
So whenever I try to flight it, I feel like I get a little closer to it and I stand a little taller.
Again, just posture. It all begins with posture and setup. So he's explaining what he has to do to his posture to make that shot happen.
And then also it's almost like then when I put the ball back, I can keep my right side higher and it doesn't want to draw as much for me. So it makes the ball flight a little more neutral. So stand a little closer to it, a little taller. And then keep my right, sort of cover my chest, but keep my right side high. Sort of the feeling.
Kind of feel tall with your right side through impact.
They were messing around. He kind of pushed that one, but we get the point.
You choked up on that just a fraction.
A touch, yeah. Just a little bit, yeah.
No,
which helps get you a little closer
to the golf ball.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we've hit enough. Let's go hit some from the rough now.
Now they're going to move over to the rough and start hitting it in the thicker part of the grass. Great nuggets here as well. Stay tuned.
Now we've transitioned into the rough. We've got about 217 from the rough. There'll be different lies that these guys will be playing from. And they'll be talking through how they're going to play it, and we'll see how that goes. Talk us through it.
So the one that's sitting down, there's obviously a ton of grass that's going to get between the club face and the ball. So really for me, it's trying to keep the speed up on it, and yeah, same thing like chop, cut. Yeah, that's sort of what I'm thinking with this.
If you happen to climb in the bunker, then it does.
Yeah. So yeah, this is like a chop cut because you're trying to keep some flight on it as well to get it over this stuff in front of us.
Now, would you open the face up a touch?
A little bit, yeah. I would, yeah. And then just probably
change swing planes at all? Up a little bit
A little bit up, yeah. A little up. We'll try to get a bit steeper on it. And give myself a little margin for error, so I'll probably aim a little further left. Just try to chop it out of here.
Perfect.
Got some decent.
Yeah, these are the shots where it all comes together. There's a high level of strength and stability that needs to happen to get that chopped out of the rough. And Rory just showed you textbook how to do it.
Highlight of that.
Yeah. Keep the speed on it. All right. A little short.
Good leave.
Yeah, it's fine. Then this medium one, yeah, it's not really a ton. It's going to come out maybe a little hot.
So he's hitting 3 balls. The first one was way deep in there. The second one is not as deep, maybe half as buried, and then the third one will probably be just sitting right on top, just to give you guys context.
So just try to judge landing it in the sort of front edge, front third of the green. But it should come out pretty normal.
You even heard it hit thinner than that first shot. That first shot was a poof. That one was more of a pew.
Go!
High on the pace?
No, I actually hit it pretty good. Just, I think the moisture just made it spin up a little bit. And this one's sitting up a little more. But again, I think with the moisture this morning, it's not going to, I get flyers quite easily. So I don't think this is going to fly. So I think I could almost hit this one the other way and hit it a little bit with the wind.
So again, understanding what the ball is going to do based on moisture or lack thereof. Again, all these little details make a difference, and this is the difference between professionals and not being able to be aware of all the variables, so to then be able to control them and to make the adjustments on the fly.
Because of the moisture?
I like that a lot.
Look like I had enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
That moisture just makes it come out just a
Yeah.
fraction slower and spinny. Just a touch.
I feel like it gets so much harder to judge the distance when the rough's wet.
Yeah,
Yes.
big time. Oh, okay, all right.
Okay. At least it's down grain.
So yeah, Scottie just buried it in there. This should be interesting.
Yeah.
Ish.
Ish. Yeah. I mean, like this one, I try to make sure I use the bottom because I play the long irons with kind of a bigger bottom. And so like these ones, I just want to feel somehow like I can get that in there to pop the ball out.
Okay.
And so like on a lie like that, it's really whatever I can do to get the ball to pop out of the rough as quickly as possible. And so like this one, I'm opening it up and putting it back.
So
and
feeling like you're using all of the sole.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm throwing the sole in there and letting
Yeah.
it kind of do its thing.
Yeah.
Man, that's nice how that lie.
Yeah, again, good leave.
Same result, slightly different approach. Again, this is just high level stuff. Great tips in terms of when a ball is buried that deep, getting the sole to really dig in there to get it out was a great tip that I got from there.
That's the thing with some of those bad lies in the rough. All you're trying to do is think about where you want to hit your next shot from, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like you already made your mistake off the tee. So now
Yeah.
it's like trying to get it back in position.
Yeah.
Again, just that conversation. You already made your mistake off the tee, so it's just about doing the best you can from that position. Again, course management, being realistic about where you're at and making the adjustments without digging yourself deeper into a hole.
This one's sitting decent. This one, I feel like if I let the club face turn over, it can come out a little hot,
Yeah.
which I need to get to the green.
Got some spin on it, right?
Still Kimberly.
Close,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's still
I thought I had
Kimberly.
enough of that
Just-
No, I had a little spinny.
And like this one, I feel like with wet ball and everything, it's just going to come out
Just also
soft.
wet ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny. Bermuda, you don't ever really get what I feel like are that bad of lies.
You only,
Like you only need that much.
lie.
You only need that much grass. Like,
Yeah.
something like this, you get lucky, and you could, like here, it's probably going to come out a little soft. And yeah, just get up there somewhere.
Yeah, but though every one of those 6 shots you guys hit, you missed it in a perfect spot for the next one. Acceptance of the first shot that got you here, but the next shot, how important it is to leave yourself in the correct spot. So, made possible chip in, but easy par.
Yeah.
But you taking 6 and above out of play.
Even these guys miss hits, there's a lot to be gained from it in terms of just watching their mechanics, watching how they approach these types of shots was just absolutely gold for me. You may want to watch this again just to get the subtleties in there, but there's a lot in here. Even though this video is only 14 minutes and you're just watching them hit balls, but there's a lot here, and I hope you guys found some value out of it.
Yeah, it's like you got to add a position off the tee, and first goal is getting it back in position.
All right, guys, we hit a bunch of long irons today from the fairway and from the rough.
All right, guys, that's my breakdown of this amazing lesson. Hopefully you guys got some tips that you can use to improve your game. Again, if you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe. And if you don't know, I am Terrence Thomas, and I help professional and high-level amateurs win more tournaments. And I do this by improving their consistency, by improving their off-the-course strength conditioning and vitality. And this allows them to lower their scores and rise up the money board. So, if you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.